This slide was not in the original slide set. I added this, so I thought it was very, very important to put in here in order to explain a lot of the other things. The choice of the type of storage that we use is very much dependent on some of these kinds of characteristics. So for example, the speed at which that storage can be read and written to is extremely important. Magnetic tape is very slow to write to and very slow to read from, partly because of the fact that it's sequential. In other words, if I want to read something on tape, I have to read through the entire tape until it gets to the point that that information is. And so this is one of the reasons we came up with hard drives. So magnetic hard drives are relatively fast. And it turns out that solid state drives are even faster. And so that's one of the reasons that we use those particular drives. Capacity is very important, and it turns out that tape is very, very high capacity. And then hard drives, or magnetic hard drives, are close behind. Those are very high capacity. As far as longevity, it turns out that tape is one of the best for longevity. Durability, it also turns out that tape is one of the best as far as durability. As far as cost, magnetic media such as hard drive is one of the best. I should have put up here under speed that RAM is very, very fast. There's also another kind of RAM in your machine called excuse me, very, very fast. Okay, sorry, called cache. There's actually three kinds. There's L1, L2, L3 cache that are even faster, that serve your CPU, but I'm not going to get into those right now. There we go. That's what looked silly to me a little while ago. Volatility. Volatility is the ability to hold data after the power goes off. So, for example, RAM loses all of its information when it loses power. Any of the magnetic and optical types of storage maintain, and also solid state. Not all solid state, I should say. RAM does not, but flash and SD are examples of types of storage that maintain or are non-volatile. And then I should put here that RAM is volatile. So those are some of the considerations that we take into consideration when we are purchasing or choosing how we're going to, what we're going to use these various things for. And these are just kind of random ideas for all of these. I haven't put them all into a grid. It would be interesting to put each of them into a grid, each of the types of storage, and then each of these characteristics, and put them all in one big chart. I didn't do that for you here, but I wanted to give you at least some idea of what some of the characteristics are of some of the various types. Notice that tape shows up in many places here. Tape is more useful than you might think. However, because tape is so slow, and let's put that here, tape is very, very slow, it turns out to be not very useful for everyday use.